Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers and grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
Welcome back to another episode of FitBody Lifestyle. We're so happy you came to join us for the episode today. We have an incredible guest with us here, Miss Maria Acosta.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here with us. And of course, I'm here with my partner in crime, aka Papa Bear.
Hola.
Yes. We're speaking Spanish today. You didn't know that, right, Maria?
Oh, no, I don't know that.
That's going to be bad if we're speaking Spanish and you're speaking English.
That's good. That's
I
gonna be okay
guarantee you,
then.
your English is better than our Spanish. So.
Yes.
Probably.
She does not deny that. You should have heard him speaking it with his British accent to Phoebe. That was really, really funny. So Maria, let's start out by telling us, what is your check-in word for today?
Excited. I'm so excited.
Well, we're so excited to have you here. I mean, you just came off of the Arnold with a top 4 placing, the Olympia, your very first Olympia, where you were in the night show, which was exciting. And of course, we're going to get to all the most recent exciting stuff, but we're going to start out really kind of backing it up and getting to know a lot about your life. But give a quick introduction of yourself. And, I know you're a coach yourself. Just talk a little bit about what you do, and then we'll delve into your life.
Okay, so I'm Maria, so I'm half 28 years old, and I'm from Venezuela. And something that people don't know me, I love bodybuilding since I have 11 years old. So, which is weird. Everybody start with bodybuilding for any reason. Me, I just start because when I saw those guys, I want to be like look like that. I want to live the experience, and I started competing so young. I started competing when I was 16 years old, 17 years old in my country, and I came here when I was 20 years old, something, and for live my dream and be a professional bodybuilder and go to the Olympia. And let me tell you something, probably you don't know, but I always focus. I want to be in the night show in my first Olympia. That was my first goal.
Oh, well, goal accomplished. I think that is so cool. And I mean, to think about and I know you and I have talked about this before, that at 11 years old, you already knew, and you told your mom, right?
Yes, I told my mom.
You told your mom, you're like, it's a little closer. You told your mom, I want to be a bodybuilder, and you never swayed from that. You always knew.
Actually, nobody in my family do sports or anything. Just and back on those days, like we social media, Instagram, it doesn't work or something. I don't know if Facebook or MySpace, but it's really weird. Say no, you want to look like a man. Well, I want to look like that. It's because I really love. I don't know. I just feel so much love and patience when I see those people. I feel my hair. That's gonna be that's my life. That's gonna be my way for life. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain, to be honest, because you need to feel about it to understand. But when I saw those people, I was thinking all the night and asking me so many questions. I remember talking to my mom, why they do, how they do this, or my mom's Maria, stop talking. That's not for you. No, I really love. I just feel in my hair. This is me. I found, something curious about me since I have 5, 6 years old, I always put my knees on the floor and I ask God, what is my mission? What is my mission? And when I saw those people, I said, this is it. I don't know who it's gonna be like on the year, but I said, this is for me. Like this is I born for this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know anything, but I born to do this. And I'm here after so many years
You
later.
give me chills when you say that. That's amazing. So who were the people you saw that inspired you originally?
It's one of those people in my country. They are, I think she was a man physique or something. Oh, sorry, she was a figure or something, or woman physique because she looked so huge, and he was an open body building. Actually, he going to the Olympia one day, and he plays there for his Gustavo Badel from my pardon, sorry, for my country, and he looks super huge. And I remember they walking like that. I said,
So were you like
oh,
at the mall or something like?
yeah,
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
in the mall, and they walking like that. I said, oh my God, this takes so much my attention as a kid because I never see something like that.
Like a
And
superhero.
yeah, yeah, that was a superhero for me. Oh my God, they look like exactly like a superhero for me. Actually, it's gonna be a good team because my mom, she don't like going to the gym or something, but she always do going to do diets and everything. I grow just eating broccoli, chicken, and rice. That's what all my food when I was kids. And actually, my favorite food, of course, I like the candies and everything. And I never drink soda or everything because my mom said, no, that's not good, whatever. So when I switched to the bodybuilding, it was not too hard. The diet was not too hard for me because normally that's what I eating when I was kids. So it was super easy for me.
Yeah, yeah. So that's awesome. So because the nutrition is a tough part of it, I
Yes.
think when people are first starting. So how did you figure out, the gym part, the training part? Like what did
I remember like one gym super close to my home. I was ballerina for all of my life. So when I told my mom I don't want to go more to, I don't want to be any more ballerina. So I'm gonna start going to the gym. My mom said, "No, you're a ballerina. I don't think that's for you."
right? And
I was
actually a ballerina, you don't want to have too much muscle, right?
exactly. So I was super skinny, ballerina, and everything. And my mom saying, no, that's not for you. Wait until you finish your school. In Venezuela, the school, we finished the school super young. I finished my school when I was 16 years old. So it is a little bit different than here. And I finished the school. I said, okay, you need to go to university. No, I want to go to the gym. I don't want to go to university. And she paid all my university and everything. I said, I'm not happy about that. I don't like it. I want to go to the gym. And she said, okay, I want to pay you the gym, whatever. I chose whatever gym, and I was start. I remember going to the news, and one news was Jarishna Ayala and India Polino. And back in those days, Michelle, when she was so popular in my country, like those girls, like, and I was watching those girls. Oh my God, look what they eat, look what they do. And I remember after, like, all my day in the academy for like ballet and everything, I was coming to home maybe at 8, 9 p.m. and I started doing abs. Oh my God, I need to do abs and everything. That was me with 15, 14 years old because I just have so much energy all the time, and my mom always putting me in some activities. Actually, I was in the military academy because I was not the same discipline, but my mom said, okay, you can go. And I was a military academy. I like the discipline and organized. Not back in those days, but now I understand, oh, that's what I like it.
Ah, so was this in high school you did the military
Yeah,
academy? Okay. So
yeah.
that helped you like develop more
More
of,
discipline. Yeah, you need to be at this time. You need to do this, and the exercise of we doing was hard. Was really hard. Like for a girl like 12 years old, like it was hard. But I like it. I really like it. My mom told me, "Are you sure you like it?" Yes, I like it.
that's funny. That's so interesting that, your personality you were drawn more towards. And I mean, ballet I know is a lot of discipline as well. So for you doing ballet, I'm sure that all those things helped you with the discipline that you have today to follow through on all of your plans because you are just very, very consistent.
Yeah, and actually, I play tennis too. So I do a lot of things because I like to do so many activities because I have so much energy. And my mom said, okay, go there and take all your energy. But I really like it. I really enjoy. And yes, you need to be disciplined. My mom always tell me, you need to be disciplined. You need to, whatever you want to do it because you like it. That's a good thing about my mom. No, you don't need to be the better. Just go there and do what you like. And I really appreciated that from my mom because she never said, you need to be the best. No, she said, go there, enjoy, have fun, and do because you like it.
So when was your first competition? It was in Venezuela.
Yeah, it was in Venezuela.
And when was it? Like how old were you and what division did you compete in?
That's so funny. I was on like when I was 17 years old, and I was prepping for bikini. But when I come to the check-ins in my country, it's different. They checking you, your physique, and everything, and they told me, Maria, you are not bikini, you are figure. Oh,
At the show, when you got
Yeah,
to the
at the
show, they
show,
told
they
you.
checking you like you are too lean for bikini back in those days. Well, my condition is never my problem.
Right, yes, definitely not.
Yeah, so okay, so I need to start posing like that. It was super funny because all the girls on figure, and I was 17 years old, like they look huge, and I look like that with maybe 90 pounds something. Just I was super lean, and that's it. Not super lean, but lean for those days. And I started doing, and I placed second, my first show like ever,
And
ever.
you literally had to learn how to pose
Oh yeah, I
right
started.
before you got on stage.
Yes, but you know what? I always do so many shows when I was doing ballet, and I was doing so many things on a stage. That was not new for me. But I remember something when they call my name in my number. That's the best day of my life. Actually, my mom told me I never see you smile like that. Never in my life. You smile like you are happy there. That's where I found, okay, that is for me. I found what is my passion in my life, and everything was super funny because when I was 17 years old, all my friends and everything going to the disco, they go eat, and I said no, I need to sleep because my coach told me you need to sleep 9 hours, you need to go to do your cardio, you need to pack your meals and whatever. I said okay, I love that, like I really love that. And back in those days she told me you need to eat only 3 asparagus. And my mom said, why you not putting extra asparagus? I say, no, three. She said three. I don't eating three.
I love that. And how long did you compete in Venezuela then? And did you stay in figure the whole time?
Yes, I stay in figure for the whole time, and I competing another one more time. And okay, that's a huge story because, but let me tell you short. My mom say, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want you compete anymore. That's not for you. You need to go to the university and you need to graduate it, and then you can figure it out. I say, I try it, but I don't like it. Like I just feel when I go to university, it's not for me. It's just no. I'm gonna go there. She said no. But back in those days, I understand her. Like she don't like it, but I told her that this is for me. Like this gonna be a career. She said no, that's not a career. I told her yes, that can be a career. Let me do it. She said no, 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 and that's when I take my decision with 19 years old. Okay, I'm going to United States and live my dream alone. Without my mom, without every. Of course, my sister was here, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Um, and I came here with almost 20 years old and start from zero, like zero. Was I never work in my life. I never do anything. Was really hard. Come here as immigrant and just for my only dream when I come here was I want to go, I want to compete. I just want to compete.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you speak English at all when you came here?
Of course, I studying in my country, but it's not the same. If you don't practice, when you come here, I don't speak, to be honest, zero. I don't understand what people can talk to me, and I was, oh,
So like you knew like were some things that you learned in school, but not to like how to actual.
exactly. Like a conversation. Like I don't understand anything. Like anything. People talk to me and say, "Oh, okay, how I can find a job with 20 years old? I never have a job, and new like language and everything was super difficult time for me.
I can
Super,
imagine.
yeah,
Did you live with your sister when you came here?
no, because she say if you wanna live your dream, live alone.
Wow.
Yeah, and I came here without just okay. Let's do. I have a few friends here, and I started tried. When we came here, I go to Florida, but it was super hard to find a job. And for be a bodybuilding, you need to have good economy and everything. Okay, I need to work and save money for start competing. And I found a job in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta, and my sister lived in Atlanta, and she said, "Okay, now you have a job, you can live with me." But I lived with my sister for maybe only 2 3 months.
So what was your first job when you got to Atlanta?
My first job was I working in a kitchen. Like I remember I don't understand anything, but about people say or something what I need to do. But I worked there, but just for only 2 weeks. I have the really good opportunity. To be honest, I think God do a miracle with me, and He put me in a really good position in a really good job. Like for me, only 20 years old, I never work, and I work with a broker, with a few brands, a Mexican brand, and I was handle, demos when you go to the supermarket and
Oh,
you see,
yeah.
I was the manager of those girls.
Oh,
Yes, God do a miracle with me. Yes, and I started working there, and got up from there.
So, Maria, let's go back to Venezuela a little bit. So, first of all, where were you born in Venezuela?
Maracaibo, like
Okay.
this is a really hot city, really really hot city.
And where is it relative to? I know Caracas is the capital, right? I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So, where is it relative to that?
It's a really fun history because
Okay.
Maracaibo, they think we are the capital, and we always so bad with Caracas because we are the same big city.
Okay. So it's a big city then.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
big city.
And then, and I think you told us this. So, ballet, tennis, military academy, and then when you started to it was when you started college. Is that when you made the decision to want to come to the U.S.?
No, I go into the university. Yeah.
No, that's what I meant. I said college, university.
Okay,
So,
okay.
when you started the university, that just didn't resonate with you, so you decided to want to go to the U.S.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And was your sister living here at the time?
Yeah, my sister was I
and
spent
she had a few friends.
yeah, and
Mhm.
I have a few friends. Other thing is because the situation in Venezuela in that point is gonna be bad and bad and bad, and I said, okay, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like stay here and work. I don't have any money. In those times, for getting your pro card was super hard. You
Yeah.
need to go to South America. You need to go. Yeah, you need to go on so many shows for getting your pro card. Actually, at that point, I don't know when I come here for going to a national, you need to be a citizenship, and I don't know anything of that, to be honest. I just okay, let me go there. There is like looks a little bit more easy. I want to go there.
You said, I'll
Was
go
not
there and I'll
easy.
figure it out when I get there.
Yeah, it was not easy, but that's my mind.
Well, and I know that relations between the U.S. and Venezuela have not always been the best,
Yeah, exactly.
and there's a lot of turmoil and dispute between the two nations, and so I wondered how that was for you to come. Was there any difficulty in you coming to the
Oh
U.S.
no,
or
because I have a visa. I
okay?
come here every year, like since I have a little cut. So we have a visa, and we don't have any problem. So for that time was really popular the political asylum, and all my family work for the government, which is making me I can have that status when I come here.
Oh,
I
that's
never,
cool.
To
yeah,
Okay.
get political asylum
yeah.
and yeah.
So that's gonna be I never be illegal here, which is a really good thing. And my mom helped me with that, of
Yeah.
course, and that's why like handle my situation here.
And
But
you have, is it just the one sister, or do you have other
only
siblings?
one,
Only one sister.
yeah.
Okay. And what is she? I'm just curious. What does she do in Atlanta? She's
Well,
not in bodybuilding, I assume.
oh no, she's not a bodybuilder. She's so different to me. Like she's more than me. I think she got. I always forget. 37, 38 years old.
Okay.
So she have family, and they come here for a better opportunities.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long after you came here before you started to get more involved in the bodybuilding world and the competition world?
I think 3 years.
3 years?
3 years that took me to getting the good economy, stability, and then start competing again. Because I know for competition, you need to be like you need to be to have a good economic or
Right. You got to be financially secure.
yeah, or
Yes.
maybe when I think you need to be like, okay, I need to put in that money for that and whatever. And well, at that point, I was already married with my husband, and it was super funny because I always dream with go to my wedding and look like lean. And I competing 1 month before my wedding.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Okay.
nice.
That was my first show because that was my dream.
Where did you meet your husband?
Oh, that was so funny. We meet in the job. He was on I work with the company. This company worked for Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, and North Carolina and South Carolina. And he one of the boss for the North and South Carolina. And we have one show they call food shows. And when I saw him, I said, "Oh, he's not all because all the and the people." And I was young,
Yeah.
and we are the only two people young there.
How old were you at the time?
Me,
Yeah.
like 21,
Oh, wow. Okay.
20, 20,
Okay.
20, 20, 21.
So you met him fairly close
Oh
after you
yeah,
came. Yeah.
I arrived here like in February, and I met him on March,
Okay.
Oh, well,
and
right
we are,
Oh,
away.
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we already started talking and everything.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
but he knows me before because my sister told him every time. Oh,
ah,
he knows me. I
does
don't
your
know.
sister work for the same company or
Yes,
okay,
my
I got it.
sister
Okay.
worked for the same companies, and my sister is coming. My sister loved the gym because my husband loved the gym and everything. And I think you're gonna be a good. But I don't know anything about him. I just know that day when I saw him for the first time.
Well, he's a good man.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's actually one of the best men that I've ever met, and
Yes.
he's in the studio. He's not on camera, but and I'm not saying that because he's here. I'm saying that because it's true. He's truly one of the best humans that I've ever met.
Yeah, we love watching him
Yeah,
support you.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he supported me for the first day. I told him, "Hey, I came here because my dream is competing. I want to be at the Olympia one day. I want to be a professional." This made me cry because he told me, "I'm here for support you," and that like he always never like give me up. Every time when we have a really hard situation, actually he supported me, and my first show was really tough because we paid the wedding, and bodybuilding is so expensive at that point. I moved to Charlotte, and I need to find a new job and everything. He said, "I'm here for you, like, don't worry, your only job is be focusing you, like, of course, work, and you can do this." And every time that I would say no, that's not for me, he said, "Yes, this is for you. You came here for do it, let's do it. Like, don't worry about the place, don't worry about anything, just do it." He always supported me since the first day.
Well, and I would say this is that we've talked about this a couple episodes, and throughout the time that we're on, we do these shows, which is the support system needed to be a successful athlete, and we see it when it's there, and then we see it when it's not. And what I can assure you is that what we see with Daniel and you is probably one of the best examples of what that support should look like and does look like. He's been present with you. He's supportive of you.
He holds you
He
accountable.
holds you
Oh yeah.
accountable,
Yes, he
and
doesn't let you slide on
Oh yeah.
things, but in a loving way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
and
important.
he asks great questions, which is, and I think part of what we've seen with Daniel and you is that his English is just a little bit better than yours.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So,
for sure.
but he will make
I think your
sure.
your English is perfect, Maria.
It is. Your English is, well, like I said, your English is better than our Spanish. So, but what I've noticed about him is that he's listening to understand, so that if you don't necessarily get something, that he can help you understand it and then apply
He
it.
always understand what
Yeah,
I try to say. I don't
yeah.
know why.
No, and that's why it's so wonderful to have him there, because if there's something that is not quite crossing that language gap, he's there to fill in that space. And I can't, and he does it just so selflessly. He's just a super selfless guy. So yeah, and I love that. So all right, so you competed. What was the first show, by the way?
My first show was in 2019. It's one of the most bigger shows in the Carolinas. Was a state championships, and was a really good. I just had so much fun. To be honest, my only dream for the show, I promise, was not the place. It's just I want to be on the stage again. That's my biggest dream, and I felt so like released. Oh my god, I'm here, and that's taken me a lot of time for getting on the stage. For that point, the protocols or whatever that I do was super hard, but I really did it, and I was feel so much like I felt okay, just this is just a start.
So, so did you do figure again that time,
Oh
or
no,
did you
no,
Nope.
no! I
was
was
for
bikini,
bikini now?
bikini.
Okay. So when you got to the United States, you were like, okay, no.
Yeah, but what's so funny because a lot of people was really hard to me, really, really hard to me. I remember when I prepped for my first show, and I take one class for the pose here, and she told me, "You are not balanced, and you are too short. You never won a class, or you're never won a overall."
Wow.
And I remember I come home and I crying with my husband. Oh, that girl is knowing so much, and she told me I'm too small. I never want anything. He told me, Maria, your coach told that. No, okay. don't pay attention. But what's that's destroyed my heart because oh my god, I'm working so hard, not just about the place, but if somebody into your peak week told you you look so bad, I was oh maybe I'm doing everything so wrong, and maybe that's not for me, or maybe just it's my imagine, maybe because I was too kid when I dreamed for that. But to always my husband was there. Okay, don't pay attention. Still working. Don't worry. And I remember. Okay, I won my first place in True Novice, and I won my first place in my category. It was so funny. I told you this history, like because when I come here, oh, but I don't want the overall. My husband said, Maria, you need to work more hard for work the overall, like posing and everything. I said, okay, I promise to you, will be working more hard there, and I want to win the overall. And then 3 months later, actually in my honeymoon, I was on prep. I was right. I don't care. Like I bring my food, I bring everything for my honeymoon, and I do the next show like in 3 months later, and I won the overall. And
I love that he told you that because, I mean, obviously that's great winning your class, your very first show, but then you were upset you didn't win the overall. But he said, no, Maria, you got to work harder on the posing
and
because
he
because you were
right.
dancing, right?
Yeah, I was dancing. No, he told me, it was so funny because it's my first show here. And when they say back to the read, I don't know what to say. It was, and he told
You
me,
still sometimes like to do that arm,
oh, yeah, I still do it sometimes. He said, your arms.
The arm just wants to dance. It just gets excited
It's something in
sometimes.
my blood that I want to dance. I don't know why, but I was ballerina. I was on a stage. I just want to do this, but I know I try to control myself.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Try being the operative word, because sometimes you just don't. You just
I
don't.
know, I know.
Sometimes you just don't.
Sometimes I'm so excited.
It's hard to stay still.
Talk to us a little bit about this. So it was it. I know you met Daniel early on, and you guys were together, which is great. But you still did not speak the language immediately.
Oh yeah.
How did you learn English?
Talking to people. I never be afraid for my accent or if I say something wrong. I just wanna learn.
Yeah,
I just wanna learn and say, whatever you say, Maria, try to explain. And I try to explain like these with my words, and I start talking and talking and talking with the people. It's gonna be like more fluent with the time. Of course, that is you need to learn. Yeah, but to be honest, I go to a school just a few times because I don't have the time. I need to work. I need to, do my career. I need to have
Got to
so
get to the
many.
gym.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta get to the gym. Like I need to do so many stuff. And something about me, I really love the personal growth. So, and I working so hard in my mind and everything. So I told him I don't have time for go to school. I have so many things to do, and I start talking with people,
yeah.
talking in the gym. I started talking with the people in the, whatever they asking me. Just want to try to get a conversation, and that's where I start to learn.
That's hard. That's a hard way to learn.
Oh yeah.
But it's a very good way to learn because it's immersing you in the language,
Yeah.
which is honestly it's the best way to learn. It just can be a hard way to learn.
But you know what? For people is if you asking me like I start talking in the gym. So that's look how this sport give to me. New language, new life, new everything. So it's because this is my life. Let me try it. Like
Yeah,
something that I know, and then we can go from there.
yeah. That's brilliant. I love that.
Interested in changing your life or stepping on stage? Join FitBody Fusion today.
Experience the FitBody Fusion difference with tools, knowledge, and community support to reach your healthy and sustainable lifestyle.
We guide thousands on their fitness journeys, from seasoned athletes to those who are simply seeking a healthier life.
Our expert coaches provide personalized plans and unwavering support, empowering you to thrive.
FitBody Fusion is more than just training. It's a community. We understand the challenges of solo fitness journeys, which is why we foster a supportive environment where members encourage and motivate each other.
Join the FitBody Fusion community today and unlock your full potential.
Head to fitbodyfusion.com to sign up for a free consultation.
And do it today. So looks like there were 4 shows in your first year, all first place finishes in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's really cool.
So that posing coach that said you were never going to get a first place was definitely
Oh
wrong.
yeah, and then yeah, the same people started saying you never won your pro card because you don't have the balance in your body. I'm so happy every time the judges say Maria is one of the most balanced. And they're like because that's remember me how work that I need to do to be here.
Yeah.
Every time the judges told me that, I remember these words every time.
Well, and I think that's an important thing for lesson for people to learn too, is like when you have a dream, if people don't believe in you, you have to take that and let it light your fire to want to work harder, to want it more, there's sometimes that, I don't know why people want to bring somebody else down, but sometimes people do. And,
And
And
it's hard.
it is. And I think it's harder when the person talking to you is a person that's established or has credibility or is experienced, whatever you want to call it. And it's funny because some of those people can be very emphatic. They can very matter of fact, like you're not going to make it. And it's like, okay, but that's your opinion. And I think I've talked about this before, but Colin Powell, the one of the most brilliant military minds in our nation's history, he has these 17 rules of leadership, 17 or 18 rules of leadership. I usually go back and I haven't reviewed them in a while, but one of the things that he does say is challenge the experts, and don't let them bully you around, because just because they're an expert doesn't mean they know everything.
Yes.
And it's hard though when you're getting feedback from an expert that you're not going to do it. It's hard not to internalize that on some level. But what I really admire about you is that you didn't. And I mean, it affected you for sure, but then you did the right thing, which is you processed it. You level set with Daniel and said, hey, this is what, and he asked you a great question, which was that your coach? And that's a great question. Who is this person? And even if they were a head judge, I mean, we've seen this before with judges telling people you just don't have the structure for it. And people go and put in the work and they do well. So it really speaks to your character and something we see in you all the time.
Yeah, I think it's some is really important, like because but you take a fire, but you need to take a fire for you,
Hmm.
not from the other person. Like it's just for me. I wanna know myself. I can do this. Not for you. It's just for me because
Yeah.
this is my dream, and I really believe in the work. I really hard believer on the work, and I know if I be patient, if I do the work, if I do this every other day and repeat it again, one day is coming.
hmm
I don't know where is the day, but I know it's coming.
Well, and the lesson there that I love is the difference between external validation and internal validation. And yes, it's great. It's great to post something on Instagram and get 10,000 likes, or have something go viral, or have people tell you you're this, you're that, you're the best, you're awesome, you're the most muscular bikini competitor ever. It's wonderful to hear those things, and they matter. I'm not saying they don't, but there's a difference between getting your motivation from that versus getting your motivation from what's inside of you, that is the thing that really takes you to that next level. And that's what I see in you, Maria, is that, and I mean, when you tell us the story that when you were 13, 14 years old and you see a bodybuilder, did you say Gustavo Bedell?
11 years
11
old.
years old.
11.
Gustavo Bedell? Did you say, is that what the name that you said?
Yeah,
Okay. That name, I think I've seen. Anyway,
She said he was at the Olympia, and then
yeah.
he
He
was with a
plays there or
I know
for
the
something
name. Okay.
so many years ago.
But that you always trace back to that moment of your inspiration, and that's what makes you. And I love the fact that you said you got on your knees and you prayed God for your mission, and so you now have a mission.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking, I was looking at your history a little bit, and I noticed that in your next year of competition in the United States in 2020, what was that? Do you remember the first show you did in 2020?
Yes,
What was it?
Arnold.
Arnold Amateur, right?
It was super hard for me that show
Uh huh.
because I was here, winning everything, and I come to my first international for getting my pro card. And huge, I placed A. I remember I said, "Oh my God!" And let me tell you something. What is in my mind? Those I play A, but for this show, probably we are 40 something, 50 girls, and I placed A, but I was crying crazy, and I told then again, that's not for me. This sport is not for me. He told me, Maria, what are you talking about? Like, this is your first time. How you told that history? And I said, okay, yes, but this is not for me. I place A. I don't want my pro card. And he told me, "Mm, it's your first time." I said, oh, okay, okay, let's do this again. And we do like another show. And I always remember told God, God, if this is for me, let me be the first on my category. Let me want to gain the overall. That's what I Charlotte Cup in 2020,
Hmm.
which is super funny because I played first. And when we do the overall was a really hard, really long, a long competitor. I think we are 7A on the overall, and they never put me on the middle. Never. I was class A, so I was in the corner, and I said, oh, maybe that's not for me. And when they called the overall, that was me.
Wow.
Yeah, that was me. For the judges, was super clear.
So they didn't need to move you. They just knew
Yeah,
already.
yeah, but I don't know that because if you are in the middle, you're right. Like, and they call me and I say, okay. And after maybe a month, 2 months, I do my first North Americans.
Yep. We see that. And I want to go back to those two lessons there, which is one, the eighth place finish at the Arnold. There's a great lesson there, which is you're not going to win every show.
Yeah.
Nobody does. You're not going to win every show. And part of learning to win is learning to lose.
Oh yeah,
Right?
and it's hard
Yeah.
to learn that, but I really learned. And actually, when I go into the North Americans, I told with my husband, I said the only thing that I really want to do is putting me in front of the judges and do the adjustment. That's it. That's my only goal. And they called me in the first call out, and I was, to be honest, for some people can so, oh Maria, does this so whatever, but I was so proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I was happy to be my eighth and take my first feedback from Sandy, Tyler, and all of the judges, and they give my feedback, and I come back again for the Clash, NBC.
Yep. And the other lesson I wanted to go back to with the Arnold that you said, or not the Arnold, but it would be the Charlotte Cup, where you won the overall, but you were on the end. And it reminds me of this last 2 weekends ago when we were at San Diego, and Emmy person who won the pro show was not even in the first call out. And she was, in fact, I don't think she was ever in the center of
No,
any of the call
no.
outs. So it and it's something we talk about a lot, and you and I have talked about this, which is don't take yourself out of the show before the judges make their ruling. You're in it until the judges make the award. So don't ever, with your actions, like, I could see somebody being on the end and not being moved to the middle, and it be reflected in their face,
Posing or
or
their
they're
face.
posing, or they just say, I don't need to keep my core tight because I'm out of it, they're not moving me to the middle. And you take yourself, it's not the judges, it's you. You're taking yourself out of the competition because you're making the judge's decision for them. You didn't do that. You kept in the contest, you kept your head about you, and that speaks to that champion mindset that we talk about. Is, look, you're competing until you're not.
Yeah.
I watch people in these, at the Olympics and the races, and some person starts out and they're like in last place, but man, they keep running, they keep running, they keep running. And sometimes they win, and it's just, don't take yourself out of the race until the race is over.
Actually, it's really important. You do this for you,
Right.
for you.
Right.
Like, and you want to feel proud of yourself. And I don't feel proud if I'm on a stage like looking
Yeah.
like disappointed. Why? What is the point? I will feel so bad and miserable. Like you say, and you go your career bad. It's not in the way for you do your career. Do this for you, no matter what place or whatever call out you are. That's today, but you don't know tomorrow.
That's right. Because if I'm not gonna win, I want to know that I did everything in my power
Yes.
to win. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make the decision or make the action that makes me not win because of something I did, right? And I love that you live that. That's really a growth mindset perspective of I'm gonna keep myself in this until they tell me I can't get up anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Or when I feel like this is not enough for me, but not for the one place,
Right.
or for one people told me something. Like it's just when I feel tired. Okay, maybe that's not for me anymore. But just I do the sport for me, for myself, because this sport is made me who I am today. The person, like whatever I do every is because I really love it, and I learned from that from my mom. Like I do this because I love it.
I want to meet your mom.
She is really
I,
interesting.
I am telling you, I don't know your mom, but I love your mom. What's her name?
Nelia. It's a
Nelia?
hard, hard
Okay.
name.
That is a hard name.
Yeah, it's a hard name.
So, eighth place in your first North Americans, came back the very next year, and eighth place again, right?
No, next year.
Oh, it what? No, I'm messing with you. Okay.
No, like a place in the Arnold, a place in the North American. I come to Clash, and it was a really hard competition this year. Really, really hard. Actually, the panel of the judges is the same to the North American, and I placed second. I was super bad, to be honest. But after that, after I think a 3 week after that, I joined to FitBody Fusion, and I started prepping for my North Americans when I won my pro card.
1 year pro card. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were there. We were
Yeah.
there. We
Yes.
were.
And
I
they never
remember it.
moved me to the
No,
semi. Yes. So, which is really important, it's not was for people think, oh, was easy, was quick. Yes and no, because I put in so much work on my mindset for that show. That's where it changed everything. I was, I never, and it's really important to say this for me. I think so. I never asked my coach if I can win. My only job is do whatever she told
yep,
me to do. I don't need to ask her. I need to believe in myself.
yeah,
And somebody you told about few podcasts, and I repeat myself every day. I'm enough. I'm enough for that.
yeah.
So
I got chills.
yeah, not for everybody, just for me.
That's right.
I'm enough. I don't want to put myself down. Like I'm enough. If I go to the stage, and of course was super different protocol, beautiful package. I was feel super proud of my package to this show. Really good, amazing experience. But something that I really learned is just it's me. Like I
Mhm.
need to believe in me. I need to believe I can do this. And I won my pro card. That was super beautiful moment for me. Not only for the pro card, it's just for all the work that I really do in my mindset, in my body, in my relationship with my husband. Because we remember my first show, we have some, I have some hungry or something, and we changed so much for that prep. And I said, okay, and I remember I have hungry, but I have hungry for my pro card. I will say
Yes.
that. But that's something interesting because I just work in my mind. And I say, okay, believe in you, do the work, and that's it.
Well, it's when you say that, I mean, it really, really resonates. And I want people to just appreciate that, yeah, you got your pro card in your second year of competing in the US, but you started competing at 17. You were competing until you left Venezuela, yeah? And
Yes.
so that's 3 years there. You took 3 years off
But you were still working out
to
and you were
Yeah.
working
still
out to
working towards your
establish
goal.
yourself.
Yeah.
You were still building that foundation, and then another 2 years. But that's 5 years of competing before you got your pro card,
Oh, yeah.
and 8 years of development of work that you put in. I mean, your improvement season of those 3 years when you first came to the U.S. I mean, that built. Well, it built the most muscular bikini
Oh
competitor on
yeah.
the, yeah,
Well, it's gonna be in those sides. It's ups and down because for my new jobs and everything.
yeah.
But I just try to keep it healthy because that's normal for me. This is a lifestyle for me, and but I have work behind those. Oh, it's third time, but no, it's a lot of work behind those 3 times only. For my pro card.
Well, and people, and I'm looking at what's on NPC on News Online, right? And that is so funny. That has the numbers, meaning it has the show and your place on the show, but it doesn't tell the story. And I think in a couple episodes ago we talked about the living the dash, meaning that there are two numbers on a headstone when you die. There's the beginning number of when you're born and the end number of when you die. But those don't tell the story of your life. What tells the story of your life is that dash in between. So you have 2017 to 2021 of competing the before you get your pro card. Those numbers don't tell the story, nor do the placings tell the story. What tells the story is everything that you did in between.
Yes.
And that's what built the champion that you
The
are.
dream
Yeah.
of the 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, and I was super. You know what? My husband and I, we go to the Olympia in 2019 and watch the show and everything. And I told him, we are not go back to Olympia until I compete. I was NPC at that point. I was not trying any pro card, anything. I had told him, we are not go back until I competing again. And last year, we are back to Vegas.
Oh, not only did you come back, but you came back with a
Chills
vengeance.
again.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just a promise that I do for myself
yeah.
for don't give me up. every day. Was super funny because in my refrigerator I have a little, picture from the Olympia, and I write something, and I said, "This is for you. This is for your dream. Never give up." Because every time that I want to remember me, my why, why I came here. Because it's super easy forget your why, especially when you start climbing. It's super easy forget your why and your passion and everything, because I know if we are humans, we want more, but I just try to put my feet on the ground. No, this is your why, this is your mission. Because as along all my years, I helped so many girls, not only in the bodybuilding, show to the girl it is possible. I come to other country, I have the same dream as you. The only difference, I take the time, I be patient. Of course, I cry, I refuse, but I never give up. Give up. I just put in my shoes and let's go to the gym and do the work again. Repeat it again. I felt, don't worry, repeat it again, repeat it again. So that's what I like to teach the people. That's gonna be, can say, my legacy. Show the people it is
It
possible.
is your legacy. That's
It
a
is
great legacy.
possible.
Yeah.
Especially, you know what? I'm the most short girl,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the top.
Because how tall are you?
4'11". I'm
4'11".
4'11", and every time that I go into the stage, I'm so much confident. I don't care who got in my side. Just it's me, and I show me, and it is so possible. It is so beautiful in the Arnold. You can see my line on the shortest girl in this side, Maria. You give me hope. And I was, because I know it's other shorty girl, but not like 4'11" as
Right.
Right.
me.
Yeah. No,
It's
I
yeah,
know. There's nobody at your height that's at the level you're at.
exactly.
You're the
So, and I
first one.
was feel so honored because I don't have watching any girl like me, but the other girl watching me say, "Maria, you give me hope." Yes, I told you can do this. Be patient. It's a little bit more hard, get the balance and everything, but be patient. Be
Hmm.
patient. Something that I really like it when I started this sport. Social media was not here, and it was more easy. I never compare myself with anybody because I don't have any example. I just do the news and that's it. And that's a really good. Sometimes I remember, if those times you don't compare yourself, don't compare now.
Hmm.
Do you find yourself doing it though from time to
Of
time?
course, of course. Sometimes you can find yourself,
Yeah.
comparing. Oh, this girl maybe, but I try. No, you know what I really learned last year, about when we do Charlotte, another second place, and I was crying so much. Not for the place, it's just for me. Thinking myself, and we going to Pittsburgh, and the Pittsburgh lineup was super crazy. I told myself, okay, we are bananas, orange, grapes, and everything. For example, I'm an orange. Well, I have my only test, I have my only smell, my only goal is going to the stage and show my things. I can't compare. Like, glutes, whatever, blah, blah. Well, that's not mine, but I have my things too. And that's my goal when I go to the stage, show my beautiful things, not my faults.
Right.
Because everybody has faults. But it's just, this is me and this is who I am, and that's it.
And that was a breakthrough moment for
Oh,
you
yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
at Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because top five at Pittsburgh is like
That's
that.
big.
And this show was, oh my god, that gave me like, yes, Maria, you do this. Wow. I remember told my husband, I came, maybe that's not for me again. He told, okay, you want to stop competing? uh no, I'm okay. Just do your thing. If
Right.
you're not gonna stop competing, do your thing and don't take so much thinking about the placing. And I go to the show and I learn from that show. And I go every show that I do, I just go there, Maria. Don't put in pressure to yourself because at the end of the day, you can't control anything.
Well, I want to rewind a little
Yeah.
bit too, because we kind of jumped ahead. Like, what was it like? Because you earned your pro card at Pittsburgh at the North Americans, and then you get to start over. So, what was it like then?
This is a hard time to.
Yeah, right.
I
I mean, it is, and I think people don't realize because everybody's in such a hurry to get their pro card, but they don't realize what's on the other side of
Oh
it.
yeah, you need to start from zero again. You need to start learning so many things. And I was in wrong mindset. That's what I told you. You forget when you start climbing. You forget your why. And my first year as a rookie season, to be honest with you, I forget my why. I
Okay,
forget it.
so Maria, what is your why?
this is love for me.
Okay.
This is love. For me, it's no sacrifice anything. This is what I love, and this is who I am, and this is what I really enjoy. Be on a stage. I really enjoy the prep process, the off season thing, everything that I need to do. I really enjoy. So, and that's my why for to show to the people it is possible, because I know bodybuilding is a really hard sport, and people talking, Maria, you looks like bodybuilding is so easy. It's because I love it. It's just that's the why.
But people also see what they see.
Oh yeah.
And so when they say it's easy,
No, it's not
right?
easy.
No. But I think I think externally, a lot of people can look at this and say, "Oh, it's so easy," but they don't know what it's like. And especially, as I'm looking over your contest history, and here's what I'm thinking, by the way. So I'm just wanted to share this thought. I do think we should cover this. And we're at time on this episode, so I'm thinking we tease this out and go more with Maria in a second episode, full length episode. But and I didn't discuss this with you off camera. So if you want to stick with it, we can stick with it. But there's some good stuff here about talking about the journey from that pro card to the Olympia stage.
Right. I know there's a few other things that I definitely want to talk to you about too. So I think we'll have to do a second episode, and that
Yes.
way we can cover everything, and we don't continue to make the episode too long. And that way people will be so excited to see when the next episode's going to come out
Yes.
and see what's next, because there's a lot of
Yes.
great things to talk about for
Yes.
sure. But I love that we've been able to talk about your journey, and it is very unique in that you did have to come. Well, first of all, you made the choice to come here specifically because this is something you wanted to pursue. Come here, find a job, learn to speak English, learn a whole new way of living, culture, everything. Like it's just I have so much respect and admiration for the courage that it took to take that leap and everything you've done up to today. And so I mean it's just such an honor to have you here. I'm so proud of everything that you've accomplished. And so yeah,
And-
I'm good with that if you would
Okay.
like to.
I think that's the best way to go, because there's so much more to cover, and if we cover it all, there's not really a good spot. But
Yeah.
at least this spot, we're at that transition point from you turning pro to now competing as a pro
Yeah.
and talking about that. And I want to say something else is that there's a lot of things that we talk about on this podcast. We talk about process over outcome. We talk about, do this for you. There's got to be more to this than just about winning shows. Maria, you live that. You're the embodiment of that. And if people aren't connecting these two things, there's an absolute relationship between your success and your work ethic and your why.
And your mindset.
And yeah, and your mindset. So when we talk about these things, if you ever want to know, well, those are just pipe dreams, those are just philosophy or platitudes or whatever. Well, they're not, because Maria lives those things every single friggin' day, and as a result, I mean, top what no, fourth at the Arnold and top 10 at the Olympia. So seventh at the Olympia.
Yeah,
Did I have that?
seventh.
Seventh at the Olympia. I mean, you don't get that just because it's handed to you. You
That's
get
a
that
lot of
because you
work.
work. This a lot of work, and all these things that we talk about on this show. You live, and there's a relationship there. So let's come back and talk about that journey after the pro card. But let's give you a checkout word first.
Happy.
Happy.
So much.
I think that's my checkout word too. And Maria, tell people how to get a hold of you.
Instagram, yeah, MVBOZO, and I got just more Instagram. That is just for
Instagram's the best
yeah,
place to
yeah.
find you because you coach as well. So, and they
Yes.
can find a link there.
Yes, you can hire me or send me a DM, or I have the link tree for
Yes.
send me any curious if you want.
And then you also have your podcast.
Yes, but it's in Spanish.
It's in Spanish.
I will
mean,
try.
we have Spanish listeners.
Yeah, yeah. I have my podcast in Spanish, and I have my episodes on YouTube too, but in Spanish. I will work in this year in my both sides, so I will try my best.
Have you thought about doing English subtitles?
I'll try, but it's really hard to people translate. I don't know how is the situation, but I just prefer go to videos, because a lot of people American they look, oh, it's really interesting what Maria say, but we really want to understand. I have few girls, oh Maria, I try to translate, but it's so hard. You speak so fast. And I say,
That's my theory, is that it's not that you can't put the subtitles on there, but Daniel has
Can't
told
read
me
fast enough.
Well, Daniel has also told me that there's a difference between Venezuelan Spanish and other Spanish.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes he don't don't understand me too. Like, yeah, it's
And you
just,
like that probably.
yeah, yeah. Let me tell you something. When I met him, he speak Spanish, yes,
Yes.
but it's not the same fluent as today.
Yeah.
He speak more English at that point. So it was, and he don't understand so many words that I say or so many things that I can explain, and he say, but now we understand really well.
And why
He speaks Maria now.
Yeah, he speaks Maria now.
I have to ask you one more question before we end this. What is it? What is the BOZO? What was?
That's my last name from
Oh,
my
is it?
mom.
Okay.
But Acosta is my first last name. But normally I'm using my mom. Of course, I know
You're
when I'm.
honoring your mom with that.
Yes,
That's
I honor
beautiful.
my mom.
That's
Yes.
beautiful.
I
Okay.
was wondering. Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. I was wondering.
I've always had that in my mind. I never knew. I was curious because there's in America, bozo is a clown, and I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And a lot of people do like some because for my last name for my second last name, but this is for my mom, and I like to
That's
using
beautiful.
yeah I like to using because my mom for me was it is everything. Also, she's coming to the most of my shows and everything.
That's beautiful.
Nelia?
Yes,
Okay, good. All right, I got that
yes,
right. All right.
yes,
Okay, we good?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so we got to check out word. There's another housekeeping thing. Oh yeah, that like, comment, subscribe, leave your review. We don't have that in Spanish yet, but you can still do it. And
Maria could say it in Spanish.
you could say like, comment, subscribe, leave your review in Spanish.
Suscríbanse, denle like y dejen un review en los comentarios.
That sounds so much better than the way I say it. For everybody else, remember the 3 B's.
Be good to yourself.
Be good to each other and
be
be safe.
safe.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBodyFusion.